This is actually a process now incorporating the supply side, and when I say that, the lead flow coming into our company. So first process is the leads come into us in real time. We scrub the data to get rid of any bad data, Mickey Mouse, duplicates. We score the data with our own internal algorithm based off the highest probability of a call resulting into, a lead resulting into a live call transfer. For example, if we get a lead in the middle of the night, and we get a lead at 1 p.m. in the afternoon and the client is active at 1 p.m., we're going to try to call the 1 p.m. lead first because we know it has a higher probability of resulting in a transfer compared to the lead that we received in the middle of the night. We'll still get to the lead that we got in the middle of the night, but we know that we want to get to the lead that we received in real time first. So that typically is the highest scoring method in our algorithm. However, there are other factors that include even domain email addresses. We know that Gmail accounts are typically from consumers are more serious in intent in buying than a Hotmail. So we also work with companies like eBureau and Targus that can help us in validating data and scoring data for some of our clients. Then we're going to match the lead to the appropriate client according to if it's whatever program that they have assigned it to. Then we dial on it for the course. We dial on it for the course of about 3 to 4 or 5 business days, 20 dial attempts. Again, it just depends on the vertical and the program that we're in. We'll then assign the record to the sales agent, and then they can start the sales process. The call center agent will disposition the call as a successful transfer, and if it wasn't a successful transfer, they'll tell us why. And the clients get to view that to see if it didn't result in a transfer, why did it not result in a transfer? Because it's going to help them work with their lead suppliers to track that. So it's not rocket science. You get it. We contact, qualify, and transfer. What's the big deal? Well, again, as I mentioned in the beginning, we are a venture-backed company. We spent millions and millions and millions of dollars in trying to get this process. Obviously, perfect is a harsh word, but getting it done the right way where companies can scale and grow with our service. And so the benefit of working with us as a one-stop shop here, folks, is, as you can see, this slide actually proves that we have hooks with all these major supply institutions, all these online lead generation companies and value-added service providers are the leaders in their space, and they all post data to us in real time. So if you have a mortgage business and insurance business or a debt business, we're hooked into all these folks. And it allows you to have one contract, in a sense, in certain instances where you're covered. And so you don't actually have to go out and create different contracts with different folks. But again, it depends on what program you're in. But all I'm trying to prove here is that we get all this data in real time, and we could be a one-stop shop for you to make your life easier. Pricing. Across all verticals, we charge a $4 managed record for dialing on your leads. So if you actually have a great deal with your lead suppliers and you want us to dial on your records, you concede you don't have an internal call center, your call center agents are not doing the job properly, or you want to run a side-by-side comparison, this is where we charge you $4 per record. Now the lead supplier would post the data to us in real time. We would go ahead and start the first dial attempt within seconds of when the record arrives. Then if we don't get in touch with them, we will keep the record in the queue for, like I said, typically up to 5 business days, 20 dial attempts. That's where your $4 covered, and we have an extranet where you can manage all the records. You can listen to the calls. You can pause your account. You can set your hours that you want to receive the calls. You can pull up the record as you take the call live. But that's where we bring in more Leads360 here in a second, because they're going to show you actually where to take the call once it's handed off to the sales agent. Per transfer pricing depends on the vertical that you want us to dial for. If it's a vertical that we've done business in and enough business in, we'll tell you a per transfer pricing. So you could send us all your leads, and then we could only bill you, let's say, for example, $20 for every call that results in a transfer. So we have, at that point, you know that we're only getting paid once one of your leads results in a transfer. At that point, again, we have to know the supplier of the lead. They have to be able to post the data to us in real time, and we have to have some historical or statistical significance within that product or vertical. Lastly, I just want to touch briefly on an offering that we are about to do in education, but this is how we really started the company in mortgages. It's a fully bundled offering. What I mean by fully bundled is you take a look at that slide with those suppliers that I showed you, and we take their undersold inventory, and then we go ahead and pair in our telemarketing cost on top of the lead cost, and then we come up with a bundled price. For example, that could range anywhere from $60 to $90 depending on the filters that you'd like to apply to those leads. And we can get into that in more detail maybe during the questions session, or if you want to call in specifically, you can speak to one of my sales reps and they'll be glad to explain to you how the mortgage bundled offering works. And also, to wrap up my part of the presentation before I hand it over to my good friend Ryan from Leads360 is going back to the value of time. And MIT, Kellogg School of Management, did an excellent study a couple years ago in regards to calling on internet inquiries in speed to contact and the ability to get a consumer on the phone at a higher probability. So if you call a record within 5 minutes of them inquiring, you have a 20% chance of getting them on the phone. Then 5 minutes later, it drops all the way down to 5% to establish contact, and as you can see, it tails down. So I'd like them to redo the study and then factor in 1 minute or less than 1 minute, because our technology, folks, we dial on records within seconds, not minutes. So that's the beauty of time and the value of your time and being more productive and allowing us to allow you sell more, and in us doing the contact qualifying and transfer it to your sales floor. Now, again, I am going to go ahead and change the format to Mr. Ryan McClintock. He is the Business Development Manager over at Leads360. And he is going to give you a overview of their company. Ryan,
Joey,
you are up.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So I echo Joey and Brian's thoughts. On behalf of Leads360, we are fired up to be on this webinar today, and definitely appreciate you all taking time out today to listen to what we have to say. Leads360 is a very similar company to DoublePositive. We were founded back in 2004. We're a software company. We work with a lot of the same types of companies DoublePositive works with. We're integrated with just about every major lead provider you can work with, and we have developed a web-based lead management system that helps companies convert leads at a higher rate. But before I get too deep into who we are, I want to get right to the core of lead management and really show you why this is something you should be aware of and why you should seriously consider lead management to really streamline your sales operations. I think one of the key reasons we're here today is because there is a serious problem companies are facing, and that problem is that companies are struggling. And it's no surprise given the state of the economy. But what I'm talking about specifically is how companies are struggling to convert leads into customers, and that's really where DoublePositive and Leads360 come into play, because we provide solutions that help companies convert leads. Now, we're talking to companies every day, and we're talking to these companies who are trying to figure out how to get more out of their leads. A lot of these companies we talk to are using Outlook, Excel, Goldmine, or even worse, a poorly configured lead management system to manage their leads. Yet they still scratch their head as to why their conversions are as poor as they are. And so we're here to say that we feel your pain, and we really believe we can help you out. So over the next 15 minutes, I'm going to talk to you about the importance of lead management systems and how we might be able to provide the missing links you may not have in place. Specifically, what is a lead management system? Why are lead management systems so important? And why companies that use a lead management system outperform companies that don't.